Mark, the November market is booming. It's going crazy. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of nice to see that it's been 2 months in a row where we've seen some positive increase in transactions over last year. So in year to date, I'm sure we're over a bit. So that's definitely encouraging to see.
Well, and it's all across Simcoe County, Mark.
Yeah,
It's not just Barrie. Everybody, Innisfil's up, Springwater, everybody's up.
yeah. And I thought about that before doing the video. There's a few things. Yes, I'm sure some of the rate drops have encouraged buyers. Sentiments changed a bit. Is it everything related to that? No. Is it the right mix of product that has come available? Maybe. Have sellers kind of reduced some pricing? We've seen a lot of that. We've
Mhm.
seen, you know what I mean, in a sense where, well, they started at 1.4 and then I'm getting 1.2 4 months later. So the pricing was wrong. So maybe the pricing's correcting itself. And I'm sure there's some sellers saying, you know what, price this now to move and get it going.
And November, we had no snow.
November was an easy month to go home shopping.
Hmm.
All right, great for home inspections. You know,
Usually November, we're in the middle of blizzards, and we weren't.
no, no. And the new rules as of December 14th, new buyers, 30-year amortization. We've done transactions like that so far this year. Closings are past it. Great. So it's good. Do I think prices are going to continue to, I shouldn't say price. Do I think the prices are going to go up over? No, I don't. I don't think I don't think we're going to see that kind of a market next year.
No,
I think
it's going to be stable though.
I think so. I think the stability
So
will
if
be.
you look, because I do have the average prices in here too, let me share our little
Share it up
spreadsheet.
and I'll give it a little blurb. So if anybody wants a home evaluation, click the links right in the beginning of our descriptions. We'd be happy to give you an honest evaluation to show you exactly what your home is worth in today's market. And if
Okay,
you like this video, click the like button, share it, and subscribe.
subscribe for new ones.
Okay, let's take it away. Let's see.
Push me over 1,000 people. Let's go. Okay, so this year, November in Barrie, total sales 193.
Okay,
2023 sales 124.
okay,
We're
okay,
up 36%.
okay.
So we've gone from minus 18 to plus 4.5,
Mhm.
plus 26, plus 36.
Yep.
Our active listings are 732.
Mhm.
Last year, 559.
Yeah,
So we're
inventory.
up 24%.
We've seen a lot of inventory come up, and I'm still seeing a fair amount of inventory coming up for December. But what I'm noticing the last few days is that it's been relist, cancel, relist.
A
In a,
lot of rentals coming up.
I noticed that too. Tons.
One day I screenshotted you. It was 1 or 2 o'clock. I checked the board. There was 14 new listings, people. Four of them were actually for sale, 10 for rent.
Yeah, I know.
Like
There's
you never see that.
I know.
I
I'm
was like, what the hell is going on? Like,
at once.
well, I'm wondering, are people deciding, okay, you know what? This house isn't selling. I'm going to rent it.
Some, some, right? Can't get the money they were expecting. Maybe we see a lot of those sellers. Somebody say, let's try renting it out. But you know what? That's a scary game in my books.
Well, it is. So the next number, year to date, last year we were at 2,082. This year we're at 2,094. We're half a percentage up.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. So year to date, we're intact, and I think we'll finish the year very flat, but that's okay. I mean, that's
Well,
good.
yeah, we might be up a little bit.
I think so too. And just, and heading into the new year, what can a seller or a buyer expect? Even we're going to see a lack of listings coming available now. It will slow down over the Christmas holidays, mid-January. Might see the odd one come up. You see the odd transaction, and then as we get closer to better weather in the spring, we'll see a flood of listings. I really think that's going to be, the tell all and be all. That's what I think where this market is going to go. And keep saying it, just don't get super excited about it yet. We've got
Oh, it's
three
not going to go crazy.
now, three positive increase in September. We haven't had that all year. So definitely in the right direction. It's
Okay,
not
look
going
at
to,
did you notice the average price though? Last year at this time, 681. This year, 720.
yeah, different mix of inventory,
Yeah.
right? So, it's good. And I think, we're seeing some sales come out. So that's positive. I'm happy for people that have listed and who've got the property sold by in this year. Congrats.
Okay, so look at the breakdown of numbers. 5 to 600, we sold 20. There's only 16 active last year, 14 sold, 30% increase.
Yeah, a lot of inventory in that range.
Well, we actually sold more inventory than there is.
Yep. Yeah.
This
Yep.
is also very nice to see. Active 68, we sold between 600 and 700, we sold 53.
Yeah. There was a lot of range in that. There was some product in that range, right?
Yep.
Well, that's that opening price for first time buyers in that range, downsizer. Looks like I got a little bit more, definitely positive activity.
Well,
And
and that means, okay, and that's a 28% increase over last year where there was only 38. But that means we don't even have a month of inventory at that price range on the ground. Look at this mother, 700 to 800,
Yep.
43 sales,
Okay.
100 active,
Yep.
only 18 sales last year.
And we've been tracking that 7 to 8 range for a long time. It's been a real dud for a while too.
There's been a shit ton of inventory. So the fact that we're down to just two, like to have 43 sales, we just had 2.5 months inventory now
Yeah. Yeah.
instead of where we were at 4 or 5.
And we're going to see some people that haven't been successful selling so far will cancel and relist probably in the new year.
Yeah. So 8 to 900, we're almost flat.
Yeah.
22 last year, 25 this year, still 98. So
Hmm.
there's still 3 or 4 months inventory there,
Yep.
almost 4 months.
Yep. Yep.
9 to 1 million, 13 this year, only six last year. So it's up 54% and 76 listings.
Yeah. So still heavy in the higher ranges, eh?
Yeah. But one thing I wanted to point out. So in the over 1 million, we had 11 sales, only five last year. So that's up 55%. But the actives, see, the last month that we did this, the actives at over 1 million was 186.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a tough range. Again,
Okay,
a lot
but
of
Mark, think about
fire.
this.
So,
There was 186. There's now 143, which means there's 43 less.
but only
Only
11.
11 sold.
So what did the other 30 some do? 32.
They either canceled it or they're
Yep.
renting it, one or the other.
Probably in that range, they probably canceled, right? Or rent, but I'm more leaning to cancel probably. And look at that range. That's a lot of product.
We still
That
got 10 months, over 10 months, almost a year of product in that range.
right. That so people listing in that range, you really, really pricing is so important to be dead on in that range. Like I have clients looking at that $1 million over range. They must send me two texts a day. What about this one? What about that one? Boy, it's pricey. Pull the history up on, oh, it's been listed for 4 months. Oh, it's been listed 3 months. They started off 1.2. Now they're down to one today was, basically dropped 100 grand. It's on Sunnydale Road, dated, 2,500 square feet. They have kids, busy street, stay away.
Yeah.
So I think buyers looking in that range, take your time. It's a
Well, you
tough,
have, listen, you have a shit ton to pick from.
got a lot to pick from. Don't rush that one. You know, yeah, that's going to take some time to get rid of that inventory.
Yeah, there's
And
a lot of inventory at that range for sure still. I
it's been
mean,
nice.
it's nice. Like what people do have to keep in mind is last November, December was horrifying.
Mhm.
It was
Mhm.
like I said it in a video before. It was like the lowest in 25 years. It was horrifying. So the fact that we have more than last year is a good thing, but it's still a shitty thing.
It is. It is in the higher ranges for sure, right? We've seen some good activity in the 7, 8 range, 8 to 9 range, not bad, considering it really building the last few months. But there's still a bit of product on the market. Um, let's see what the buyers are going to do, right? Let's see, and what's the new year going to bring? Well, we have a new government taking hold in the US. How's that going to impact us? Well, let's hope positively, but I think there's a lot of people on their asses going, holy cow, what's this 25% tariffs coming in?
Well, listen, you know what? I was so angry and I had to refrain from all the people and even friends of mine on Facebook thanking God that Trump got in. Thank God Trump got in. Blah, 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 blah. Like, do they not realize he wants to put tariffs on Canadian and Mexican good now and the free trade agreement and everything that they had? He wants to get rid of it.
Mm,
Like, it's going to cost us more to live if this actually all happens. What the hell did you want him to get in for? He's not helping Canada or
no,
Ontario whatsoever.
well, he can shoot his mouth off. I'm not a politician, but wow, we'll see what happens with him. But I think that's the big cloud. And I remember, even last when he was president with the financial markets, because I play the stocks quite a bit. But there'd be days where they just Trump said this, they'd go to the moon, or Trump said that, they'd just drop. They're so volatile. So it could be a crazy market next year for financial markets with him in power. But anyway, I hope um, that doesn't take place with all these tariffs. But I don't want to get into that.
No.
There's uncertainty for people in manufacturing. I'd be a little scared in certain industry sectors. But anyway,
Yeah.
on a positive note, we're off to a good start. I think it's positive. We'll finish the year positive, I'm sure. December, as you know, is slowing down right now. We see it. We don't see it in the amount of listings and rentals coming on the board, but you know, I'm anticipating we'll see a lot of cancellations as
There
we.
was a lot of solds today, Mark.
Yeah, there's 20 some I saw when I checked at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the sales, they're happening.
Right. Yeah. I mean, again,
I think part of it too is people right now, before Christmas is coming and before the winter, totally engulfs us here, people are lowering the price to get rid of them. I've noticed that. I've noticed some price decreases and I've noticed more aggressiveness on the difference between list and sell. I've seen, and I told you I was noticing last week there was quite a few that actually sold quite under what the list price was.
well, yeah, and I think there's some motivation if they want to get it gone before December. I want to sell it this year.
Hmm.
I think they got to keep. I think a seller today really needs to get communicated to what is going on in the market because it changes fast.
Every
What's
other day is a different thing half the
I
time.
look at the inventory. What's going on here? They need to see numbers. They need to be updated. They need to be communicated so they can make decisions. Those agents out there that aren't doing that for the sellers, they're not helping them. They're not helping them. They're not helping them
Well,
make.
listen, I've talked to a lot of agents that are doing it, and the sellers have this their own ideas and opinions on what's going to happen in the market, and they're not willing to move, thinking there's going to be a big boom, and they're not listening.
Well, the numbers don't lie, Dan. This is the thing. The number of sales, the amount of inventory don't lie. We didn't sit down and make this spreadsheet up, put numbers in. We took them from Toronto Real Estate Board stats. They don't lie. So they have to start looking at this data more closely.
And if you're sitting there for months and months, and your agent is suggesting like you need to do this, you need to do that, or you need to do that, trust that they know what they're talking about because a lot of people, and I've had it myself where like I'm fighting with somebody saying, "Hey man, like the market's going down, stuff isn't selling." You know, I went to one listing appointment last February, March, and what price I gave him now, we're almost like 80,000 lower right now from what
Yeah.
I gave him in last February.
Right.
Because remember February, there was a little bit of an uptick, February, March.
It was.
Well, now there's stuff that's sitting there on the market. It's not selling, and you're not going to get what you got last February right now. It's not happening. So it's volatile and it changes all the time. And your agent is trying to sell your house for you. So if they're telling you, and I know we're going to get a lot of comments. Oh yeah, realtors just saying, give the house away to get a deal. At the end of the day, Mark, your house, anything in this world, forget about just your house, is only worth what someone's willing to pay.
Pretty much. But I question the realtors that are not. giving their sellers weekly updates of what's going on in the market. Hey, here's some new listings that come up that are really close to your neighborhood and price point. Here's some price changes. Here's the sold. Do a 15-minute video going over all that. Keep them educated. Is it happening out there? No. Oh, well.
I don't know. I think agents want to get people's houses sold. I think they're trying, and from what they
Done.
are. Who, Mark, if I'm paying for a listing, if I'm paying for a photographer, and I'm paying all of the money to get a property listed and put on the board and do all the time, do I want it to sit there? I want it to sell.
You want
Nobody,
to sell, but
nobody
if
is
the
in the
price is
business.
wrong and the sellers are pushing back and thinking that they know the market. And this is not all sellers. This is not directed at sellers in general, but why are they thinking that? Are they not getting questions from the agents? Are they not getting feedback on what's going on in the marketplace? When I go,
They're listening to the friggin' media saying that, oh, sales are up. We're doing it right now.
sales
Right?
are, but that sales are up, big deal. I don't get too excited about that. That's great that they're up. I'm glad that they are, but I'm looking at price growth. I'm not seeing price growth in this market. I'm seeing a very competitive marketplace in certain ranges, and that a million and over is a very competitive market right now, and it's been that way all year. Inventory sits, single digit percentage of that sells at month over month. That's not good. So why is 95% of it not selling? Can we say that it's I can't say it's all sellers. I can't. Some. I can't say it's all agents. Some. But do they know the market? I don't know.
Well, I think right now too, I told you, a lot of deals I've been doing are first time buyers because they changed the rules for them. They made it a little bit easier, but they're buying the lower price properties. The lower price properties are moving. The higher price ones where people are moving up into or trying to downsize, they're not moving.
It's tough because people are pushed out of that higher range market. They can't afford it. They
That's
don't.
right.
So I'm not telling sellers to go and price it so everyone can buy it. No, price it based on some sold properties. And it's
Hmm.
going to take some time to sell. It is, no matter what. But we've gone through enough of that inventory where we've seen 4 or 5 months listed. Oh, sometimes a year, sometimes more. Don't even like that's a waste of time. I
Unless
can't.
you're going to price it very, very competitively.
I think anyone in that range has to price it competitively, has to really look at what's in that range and
Like you can't be the same as everybody that's comparable to you. You got to be lower.
lower, but or their home offers something more. The neighborhood offers some more. You know what I mean? There's many parts to that puzzle to figure out. But right now, in that range, people can't afford that range. It's a small percentage that can, and that reflects in the overall sales every month that we've been seeing.
Exactly. I agree. That's exactly what it is. There's only a very small amount of people that can afford that price range.
Right, right. And I think people are scared to take on more debt. I would want to go take on more. Yeah, I want a bigger condo. I'd like a bigger. I'm not going to take out one sold. Brandon Clements listing. Loved it. I'm not taking 300K worth of more debt. No thanks. I'll suffer.
I'm trying to sell my house right now. You know that. I'm trying to downsize
Yeah.
because like I don't want as much debt as I have. Like everybody is looking to streamline, right?
I think it's important to do that. For me, it was streamline it, watch the debt that you're carrying. You don't become a slave, right? We're slaves. Most people are slaves to the debt. Once they
Hmm.
take out massive amounts of debt, you got to keep paying those bills, and it's tough. But
It is tough.
and I don't think that we've talked about it. We did a video this week, and I think people should go look at it about rates. I don't think that's going to drive the market next year. I think it's going to help the market for sure, but it's not going to be a driver for the market where, holy cow, we see rates are coming down. Every time we see a rate drop, we used to see everybody get excited about it. I'm excited for the people that have variable products tonight to get some breathing room. I'm happy for that, but we're not seeing that it's driving the market today. It's helping the market today, but we can't say, are we seeing prices increase year over year? We're not.
Well, and we're not seeing a ton of like the transactions are higher, but they're still not a great number.
if you
We're
look how
just
many
better
years,
than the shittiest year we've ever had. That's
right,
all.
marginally, like a slight better, like half a point. Okay, it's good. It's good because you know what I mean. We see some people coming back a bit, or some sales coming, or the right inventory selling, whatever it could be. There's so many pieces of that puzzle, but that's all positive. But I sure hope I don't see sellers next year going, oh my God, well, wow, the rates are down another quarter point in December. That's going to drive my mark. I'm going to list it in the spring and get that much more for it. No, not happening.
No,
And we
no.
can't base it on that, you know, January, late January, Feb, early March numbers that come out of the market because we see this year over year where you go, holy cow,
It's always
that's
slow.
for what? It's slow. And then there's not a lot of product. Some buyers always kind of come back. They get ants in their pants and then they go, oh my God, I'm going to miss out. I need to jump on that right away. We've seen some of that. And then the inventory comes on in April and May, kind of normalizes once again. So,
Exactly.
but I think it will be a better market than this
Yes.
year, right? And
Yes.
you know, I think so. And then you know, groceries are still expensive, gas still expensive, oil.
Everything's expensive.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Like I went to Costco today, it was $200. I carried one bag in.
I know.
Like it's a lot of money. You can buy
Everything is a lot of money. It's ridiculous.
it's tough. And people are, you know, we're feeling that, right? And we got Christmas time. What like it's going to be interesting to see what the retail sales are going to be like at the end of the year. I don't know did we hear anything on the retail sales in the US from Black Friday?
I haven't
No,
heard anything yet. No.
no, I haven't either. So, you know, but their job numbers came in for I think November. I think it was something came in little light, not they're expecting more. This economy's slowing there too, right? But they're a lot stronger than we are. So, you know, when I was out in Alberta, it was pretty nice when I saw gas for a buck 34 and 5% sales tax.
Mm-hmm.
Not 13. That's
Mm-hmm.
a half,
I know.
right? And when I went into the Walmart there, we stopped into to Walmart to buy some breakfast things. I was very shocked at the culture out there. Different cultures. Didn't think I'd see that too much. Saw it. I was like, holy cow, there's a lot of new people moving into this province. A ton that I wouldn't expect to be moving into that province. So
Oh, my nephew was here from Calgary, remember? And he lives in a mostly all Indian neighborhood.
there's a lot of Indian cultures very strong out there.
Yeah. He said during Diwali and all those things, there's fireworks for 2 or 3 days and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think people are going to where it's cheaper, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like your dollars go out there. We know agents that left Barrie to move out there. They're never coming back. I don't blame them. I went out there. I was miserable coming home, going, Jesus, I'm coming back to Ontario. Oh my good God.
I know you've been crabby for days.
I'll be better tomorrow when I'm skiing, but it's just you just get so cut. It's just, I don't know. It's just such a nice, it's a beautiful province. Right. It's just great. I'm into that lifestyle. So it's mountains everywhere, skiing, hiking, you know, no, a little slower pace.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So anyway, but you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll hopefully the
Well,
market.
and apparently in Calgary, in that area, prices went up 10% this year. When we did that, the prices across Canada, it actually went up there.
Yeah, I know. Right. Home affordability. Home,
Demand, it's all supply and demand, right? And that's the whole thing.
right. And we have a lot of inventory. So that's the marker. I think buyers and sellers both look at that inventory, should be really looking at the inventory, getting themselves very educated on it, right? Have these numbers, write them down if you have to, because that could help in negotiations. You have an agent that's, you know, going in there. We'd hope they would have an idea. I have a story to tell. A client of mine got an agent knocked on his door to buy his property, say the address. Um, Bottom line, 1.2. No, that's with commissions of 2.5. I gave him, you know what, the house is probably between 9 and 950. Of course, he took it, helped them through it. But I said, don't get excited. What do you mean? Because this isn't going to praise out. We tried to find who this buyer was. I tried to look geo across Ontario, couldn't find him. So I'm thinking could be a new home buyer then. I don't know, but I don't see what he owns. Thought it was maybe investor, maybe it was the developer that wanted it. I didn't think so, but you never know. Whatever. So long story short, tied up for 10 days, got the mutual release when I was out in Lake Louise. So there we go, sign it because we knew that he's never going to get the finance. And an agent thought, oh, well, we're going to try some more appraisers. What's that going to do? It's going to cost your buyer more money. They're
Hmm.
not going to give you a increased value because you go to the next appraiser. The data doesn't friggin' lie. This is what it's worth. You go to someone else, let's just be honest, maybe a $50,000 gain, up or down. It's still not enough to close a deal. Either that guy or buyer has to put more money up front because the banks didn't take it, didn't appraise. So there's an agent that wasted everybody's time because he didn't know the market. Obviously, didn't know the market at all. Putting out a number like that, take that number and run, get out.
Well, my thing too is why would you be pushing your client to buy a house that isn't doesn't appraise, that
He
the
didn't.
value isn't there?
He didn't do any work, and this is very common that I see. I've seen this over the last few years where there's no work. There's just they give you an offer. Either it's really high or it's really low. I get the really low ones. Didn't they say to look at any sold? No. Really high one. Is it going to appraise? Didn't appraise. Could come up with additional money.
I do gotta say, Mark, the last two or three
Where's the
deals.
representation?
Well, I gotta say it on the other side. The last two or three deals I've done now, mind you, the last two were women I was dealing with. They were great. They were on the ball, man. They were great.
Well, there's some great agents. Don't get me wrong. I love there is some good agents. I only talk about the bad ones, right? Good ones I like doing business with, and I
Well,
like
like and I'll tell people I had the multiple offers on that one. It was Sandy Cove people. It was one of those modular homes. But either way, I picked the agent that was easier to work with.
100%. But let's talk about. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't. I want to
We're
go in
gonna
depth.
run out of time soon, but
Okay, I only got 2 minutes. So there's an agent. I'll give a nutshell. You won't be in the hook. That tried to bullshit your way a little bit, which you had some background information on it. My seller has no more money, no more of this. You saw something. You knew that there was more room for that.
I knew they were lying to me. Yep.
Right. So, that agent screwed themselves out of deal because they weren't professional. Get it done. Work together.
And I'm a straight up
You
person. So, like, when I say this is my client's final number, it's their final number. If you're going to lie to me and you're going to move, mess with me, I'm going to see through that shit. And then if
right,
there's more than one agent, I want the agent that's being upfront with me. I'm not
right.
dealing with the bullshitter.
Oh, no, you don't need to. That's the thing. We're always gonna go with someone that is good to work with or had a past experience. That agent lost a commission check, buyer lost a property. That's not good. For what? Agent ego? There's a lot of agent egos out there. We always can't get the best price and be iron fisted and not and do that. We just can't. It doesn't work all the time, you
It
know?
doesn't. And you know what? The final goal is that the seller's happy and the buyer's happy, right?
Right. Right. So,
You got to
but
meet somewhere in there because in order for everybody's got to sign the final documents at the end, and everybody, and actually accept the deal.
right.
So everybody has to be fair, equal, and you've done it and I've done it where sometimes my clients have overpaid because they want it. And I
It
tell them,
it happens.
yeah, it happens to you too.
It does.
You
It does.
tell them, listen, it's too much. Like, this is actually too much. Well, we're going to live there for the next 20 years, Diane. I
Do
don't
it.
care. I
Do
want
it.
it.
Do it. And that happens. That
It
happens,
does.
right?
If
Especially
that's
when,
their dream home and they're going to want to raise their babies there and that's
yeah,
what they want, I have to make sure it happens for them. Like,
right. Not, oh, sorry, we went with someone else's offer because you're being a bitch to deal with. You didn't do nothing for those people. They told you they want it. but you tried to get the ego in the way to get them a better deal. They weren't concerned about a better deal. They're concerned about securing a property. And
Hmm.
yes, we want to do the right things for the client, but if the client instruct us saying, I'm okay, get the goddamn job done, you get
Hmm.
the goddamn job done, you leave your ego outside.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
anyway, let's end it up there because we're running out of time. Great video.
Okay.
Um, if you want more information on the Barrie market, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
See ya.